Hi everyone, welcome to Film Fables. I'm sure you're familiar with this movie, especially for those who love superheroes. But leaving aside the wonderful fights, outstanding special effects, and other elements, did you really understand the movie? Today we will discuss two very important clues in the movie. The movie is set in Gotham City, a city of gangs and drug dealers, where Batman is constantly on the prowl for criminals, and he has one well-known rule: he doesn't kill. With the help of Batman, the Dark Knight, Gotham City Sheriff Gordon takes down the mob bosses, and Gotham City Attorney Harvey Dent, the Bright Knight, tries to take them all to court, where the evidence is so overwhelming that it seems they are destined to live in prison. With all the evidence against them, it seems they are destined for prison, and Gotham seems to have finally regained its peace and light. It's at this point that the Joker appears, a devious and cunning man with no boundaries and no dogma in his head, who rallies the mob around himself by killing Batman and leading them and the schizophrenics he's recruited to kill as they please, as a way of pressuring the citizens into forcing Batman to take off his mask and reveal his identity. This is only a superficial vein of the movie, and the core vein of the movie is that the Joker constantly stimulates Harvey Dent and Batman, the two embodiments of justice, and even hopes to die at the hands of Harvey Dent or Batman, because in this way they will be the same as him. Their belief in justice is just a superficial show, and the real master of the world, or the Joker's logic.
They're only as good as the world allows them to be.
Everyone thinks that his logic is correct, that the world is working according to the logic he believes in, and if the world is not like that, we think that it is just a superficial phenomenon, and that the real deeper logic must be the logic that he has mastered. To prove it, all one needs to do is to give others a little push, and these people will be caught up in their own logic. For example, if a beautiful woman believes that men are bad, that they are only interested in her body and do not love her at all, then she will use her body to seduce men, and she will find that all she needs to do is to give them a little push, and they will become greedy, horny men. If a rich man believes that everyone is greedy and that money makes the world go round, then he will use his money to give other people a little push. These people will be in his grasp. The Joker thinks that everyone is evil, no trust can be. He just needs to people gently push a little. Everyone will give up justice, become very selfish and ugly, and then betrayed others and even personally killed his comrades. In the movie, the Joker's weapon is the fear of people's hearts. He believes that everyone loves themselves and their loved ones, and as soon as you go and threaten their lives, then everyone gives up their original bottom line and becomes evil. The movie begins by showing the logic of the Joker. He lures a few gangsters wearing clown masks to rob a gangster's bank and says to them, "Kill your fellow gangsters so that you get a bigger share of the money." So the gangsters literally slaughtered each other in the course of the robbery, and the Joker himself was the most decisive in the process, so he was the only one who survived. During the robbery, the leader of the bank says something like, "The bandits of this city have always had faith," meaning they have a bottom line. But the Joker proves that all he needs to do is give them a little nudge to break the gangsters' bottom line. Under the leadership of the Joker, his minions robbed a number of gangster banks, robbed $68 million, but he even broke into the gangsters' party in a dignified manner because he realized that he only needed a little push and the gangsters would rally around him. Sure enough, when he said he could kill Batman, most of the gangsters were impressed. This is both seduction and utilizing the power of fear. By this time, the mob bosses are pushed to the brink by the forces of light such as Batman, Harvey Dent, and Gordon. So when he throws out this bait, the entire Gotham City underworld quickly defects to him. Throughout the movie, the Joker often takes advantage of human weaknesses to give multiple choice questions, and there were three that stood out to me, the first of which he threw at the underworld. A gang leader hates him and issues a kill order, which results in him being killed, and he throws the two surviving Triad henchmen a stick each, telling them that only one of them will make it out alive and leaving them to kill each other. There is an important bottom line in the Triads that no infighting is allowed, but this bottom line is easily broken by the Joker. Of course, if the gangster's creed is less reliable, being breached doesn't seem to be a big deal. What about the brightest and most honorable people? Can their bottom line be breached? As the rest of the story shows, it's not so hard. Having gained the mob's support, the Joker sends death threats to all three of them at the same time. Harvey Dent, Gotham's police commissioner, and the female judge who is about to try the mob bosses, and kills both the female judge and the police commissioner. The police commissioner was poisoned by drinking a glass of poisoned wine during a conversation with Gordon, when Gordon warned the commissioner that there was already a mole around him. But at this time, the police chief poisoned wine has been down. Obviously, the mole gave the police chief poisoned wine. But why would the mole follow the Joker's command? The movie did not give a direct answer, but it is not difficult to speculate is that the Joker to these police officers themselves and their loved ones sent a death threat, which is the Joker has been using means. A woman falling in love with two men at the same time usually means that these two men are either very similar or completely different. Combining these two aspects can lead to even more complex scenarios, where they either appear very similar but are actually completely different, or they look different but are essentially the same. So what kind of people are Batman and Harvey, and how are they different? Bruce Wayne, as the chairman of Wayne Enterprises and one of the richest men in the world, sees his Batman identity as a totem he offers to Gotham City to inspire the citizens to bravely fight against evil forces and improve the city. He never intended to be a hero who sought public adoration. Moreover, his beloved Rachel once told him that she would marry him only when he no longer needed to be Batman. Harvey, on the other hand, based on his background as Two-Face in the films, when we look back at his courtroom performance and his public admission in front of Gotham citizens that he is Batman, it becomes clear that Harvey very much wants to be the hero he envisions, Batman. However, Harvey's eagerness to become a hero, or his pursuit of the light, is not as pure as Batman's intentions. Instead, he finds that he can gain influence by pursuing the light, becoming an idol to the citizens of Gotham. Additionally, Harvey gains Rachel's love by taking the blame for Batman, which is why he becomes the Two-Face after Rachel's death, as his logic for living is destroyed. In summary, Harvey and Batman are only similar in form. They may look alike, but there are fundamental differences. Batman has no interest in heroism or influence. He pursues pure justice. In the end, he willingly takes the blame for Harvey Dent's crimes, taking on himself the murderous deeds of the Knight of Light, allowing people to think he has broken his moral code. But he is willing to bear all this to bring light to Gotham, not as a hero who shows off, but as a true hero. What matters is not the form, but the soul. And in this respect, Batman is much like the Joker. Rachel fell in love with these two men because they both possessed a heroic identity. However, she could not discern the essential differences between these two heroes. Therefore, even though she chose Harvey in the end, what she truly loved was the Batman without the mask. So did Rachel really want Batman to become an ordinary person? Or did she really like the ordinary Bruce Wayne? After Harvey admitted he was Batman, Rachel truly began to despise Bruce Wayne for the first time, blaming him for letting Harvey take the fall and deciding to marry Harvey. From this, we can see that Rachel actually wanted to marry the most heroic, the most righteous person. Women are contradictory. They often do this, fall in love with a hero, but tell the hero, "I will marry you only if you become an ordinary person."